Hey, what's up YouTube, and welcome back to another Blender tutorial from your boy Hunter. Now, today I'm gonna be showing you how I made that first person character rig I showed you before. So before I start, I'm just gonna delete these. I'm just gonna keep the cube. I'm gonna tap into edit mode with the cube. I'm gonna press G and Z and bring it up so the origin is in the center. Then I'm gonna control R twice. Make sure I delete the top parts. Just delete not the vertices, the faces. And we got something like this going on. So now I need to select these edges and S Shift Z, something like that, just to make it circular. If you want to make sure it's completely circular, you can select these just like that. These loops with Alt select, and you can press W, loop tools, and circle. Loop tools, circle. And it's gonna make that nice and round. You can always use a cylinder as well, but I just found this easier to work with. In tab 2, well, keep in edit mode, just select these edges and GZ. Bring it up a few increments. Now you got a nice tall empty cylinder like this. So the reason I do this is when I press S and Z, I can crouch. Awesome. But I'm gonna make a full body first person character for this video, so that means I'm going to need a character. So I just wanted to show you how to do this. I'm just gonna move this to a new collection. I'm just gonna make this the player collection. Something like that. And then I can just turn this off. There we go, Shift C, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just minimize this and open up MakeHuman. So if you don't have MakeHuman, go download MakeHuman. It's an awesome program for making characters. So then you will be presented with this, and let's hope I'm not getting any, YouTube's algorithm with nudity. Come on. Okay, so before YouTube actually starts, okay, let's just zoom in way far. And then I'm just gonna give it close. So geometries, and let's just give it I'm gonna make a male character, so I'm gonna make a male fault suit. There we go. Now I can zoom back out. Sorry about that. So first of all, I'm gonna go back to the modeling and make the gender male. Age, let's go for about, because now it's 25, and go 28. Let's make him 28. You can see here at the bottom, age 28, muscle 50%, weight 100%, height. So I'm gonna make him Caucasian, and proportions I can just bring it up a little bit. Weight, muscle, not too much. And then let's go for the not the gender, the face. And let's just give him a nice head fat nothing. Can bring the age up a little bit just to make it look a little better. And then let's do the triangle like this. So it's got a nice jawline. And then we can go head size. Something like that. Forehead. This brow is going to be what's going on there. So I'm not gonna play with that too much. There's the forehead size that looks so weird. So the only thing I want to be changing now are these. Then eyebrows. look at these. That's what we're looking at. So we don't want this too much, but we want them to come out a little bit. And we can just bring this up. Okay, that's maybe too much. I think something like that might work. So let's go ahead and go to the neck. Okay, you didn't see that happen, so something like that. And then the scale vertically, you can actually bring the scale up and down, but I'm just going to leave it like that. So let's go for right eye and make sure you turn on symmetry for this. So it would be this one. So when you do something on this side, we just bring this all the way up. And you can see what's going on. I need something that actually works. And if you right click it, sets it back to... Okay, so let's do this. You can see it does it on both sides. So you only have to work on one side. Something like that. I'm just gonna leave it like that. About maybe make the eyes a little bigger. Little, not so much. Okay, then nose. You can play with the nose as well. So best view for this, something like that. So that's up and down. This is gonna make the nose bigger. This is gonna make it stick out a little bit. But we're gonna look for the nose details. Okay, so I made a mistake here with the nose size. Where was it? I'm just right clicking so you can see what's happening. The nose size, I'm just gonna bring this in a little bit. You will see there at the top. And I think something like that should work. So you can even play with the mouth. That's what we're working with now. Okay, so and you can play with the mouth features as well, make them smile, make it brown, just keep it like it is. You can even bring these in to give it extra detail. Let's see. Let's rotate around them and see what it looks like. I think we did this too much. Okay. So you can even make the ears bigger. You can even make it like a vampire ear if you really wanted to. Because apparently I'm working on this side, so bring it up and down, make it a little bigger. You can make it bigger like this, or you can make it smaller. You can even rotate it, just like that. And you can bring the flap in and out. Okay, but this is starting to look way too weird. I just wanted to show you what to do there. Okay, so then you can go for the chin and the jaw. What I want is I want like a nice big chin and bring this down a little bit. So that's a nice male chin, nice and muscular. Okay, anyway, you can go for the cheek as well. Oh, I didn't even show you the chin, what you can do with the chin. You can also bring this in and out if you really wanted to. Let me show you what that is. There's a cheekbone. I think this looks pretty good. Bring these in and out as well. But I want to get back to the chin. You can give him a huge chin, you can make him a small chin, you can bring the jaw out, in and out. I think this is a little too high. Oh, and then the width as well, you can play with the width. And you can say, okay, you want like a huge chin, or you want a small chin. And then the tone of the chin, I think that should work. So making something a little, let's say original. Alright, so next what we're gonna do is, I'm not gonna play with the torso, the arms, legs, and whatever. So I'm gonna go for the geometries, and I'm gonna need, first of all, eyes. You're gonna see you got low poly eyes and you get high poly eyes. Now, I like the high poly eyes because you get a nice shine with that. You can see. Hair. Obviously we're gonna need hair, but MakeHuman doesn't really have nice hair. But I think something like this might work, or maybe something like this. I think I'm gonna use this. Let's look at the other one. That's what that looks like. But I think this one looks the best. You can always change the color in Blender with the color ramp node. Okay, you're only gonna need teeth and a tongue and eye, well, a tongue and teeth if you're gonna be opening the mouth. I don't think I'm gonna be opening the mouth in my game, so I'm gonna leave that as it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him eyebrows. That looks good. And eyelashes. I'm not really gonna say it, don't put it in, because that's extra geometry you're gonna be working with. But yeah, I'm not gonna put that in. So also the tongue, I'm not gonna put in the tongue. Okay. Oh man. Something's wrong with my mouse. It won't move. Why won't it move? There we go. What the heck? Okay, anyway, so you can always put a hat on him. But as you can see, it doesn't really work with the hair. So and then shoes. Now, I prefer to use these shoes because you can easily edit them to make them boots. You can always use these as well. But they don't look as nice. So these you can just make it shine in Blender, so pretty cool. You can see it already has a nice shine, so you can give it a polish look in Blender. So I think this is basically it. Now we got all of this. Now materials. We want some skin on this guy. Now because he's on, let's say he's almost 30, so we're gonna be using a middle-aged male skin, Caucasian male. So that's middle age. Now you get old and you get young. So it's up to you what you want him to look like, but for me, I'm gonna go with the middle-aged male. Then hair, you can't really do anything there. Eyes, you can choose the eye color. So green, eyes, light blue, gray. deep blue, brown, dark brown, and blue green. Now I just prefer something like this, like green, because if you go nice and close, you can actually see there's like a hazel look to it. If you really want to, you can use the I think, what was it, the ice, also nice green, but I prefer the blue, no, the green. It just looks better with me, for me, you know. Can use that with my character. For you, that's something you're gonna have to play with, but I'm just gonna do that. You can't do anything with that. You can do nothing with the cold suit, and you can do nothing with the shoes. So now we're gonna have to go to pose and animate. I'm gonna go to the default. I was gonna put in every bone, but I'm just looking for the fingers. You can go for game engine, which actually gives you something like that with the fingers as well. And like I said, I'm not going to open the mouth, so I'm just going to use the game engine. And that is easily editable. So maybe let's go to a pose now. So pose, and I want them on a T-pose. So you get nice poses. If you're making Superman, Spider-Man, nice run pose, and just sitting down, lazy. One stand, maybe he's leaning on something, just a normal stand. I don't know what the standing is, but okay, I don't know who's gonna be standing like that. Maybe a lady. He's a little okay, and then you get something like that. Standing with a friend, and then just Captain Morgan. But I want the T-pose, because I'm gonna be moving this around a lot. I'm gonna do my own animations, and yeah. So next, you can always play with your expressions as well. I know this isn't a tutorial on MakeHuman, this actually Blender tutorial, but you can always play with these. But I don't want that, so you can do that with shape keys in Blender. So files, and we're gonna export this guy. So export, and we're gonna use a DEA file. You can always try the OBJ, but I prefer the DEA. And let's see, give him a name, so let's call him Joe. Let's just call him Joe. It's the capital J, the name Joe. Come on. And then before you do the export, you can select where you want him to export to. So right now he's exporting to my character folder, so I want him on my desktop, and I'll just make a new folder, and I'm just gonna call it Game Man. So now that's where I'm gonna find him. So I'm just gonna save that. You can see, okay, before I do that, I'm gonna need the helper geometry, not the facial pose units. I don't need that. We want this in inch or meter, actually meter, and bone orientation along, I think the global, but let's use Y. And up face is face Z, so that's good, but we want this, and feet on the ground, obviously. So now we can export this to the desktop, and Game Man, and say, actually I need to call this Joe. And then it's going to export your character, and then we can start editing the character. Okay, so we can close this down. If you want to save it, you can save it. So let's say you want to save it and you say yes. Okay, cool. Then we go back into Blender. Then file, import, and a DAA. And desktop, and we call them Joe, so we're gonna look for Joe, game man. There we go, Joe. Okay, before you just do an import, you're gonna have a few problems with your armature. So I can just show you that real quickly. So when I press dot, what the hell is this? What? That's weird. That really is weird. What did it import now? What just happened there? Old Asian male. Wait, did I just export that wrong? What's going on here? This is weird. Okay, there's always a problem, I guess. Let me just delete everything and just go back into my MakeHuman. I just want to see what the heck happened there. Okay, so let's see, files. I'm just gonna open this one real quickly. I just want to see. Okay, well, it's not the same character, but okay, I'm just gonna edit this, take this away, put this in. And the hair as well. And the eyes. I remember I was still working on this, and we have load shedding here in South Africa. I don't know if you know what load shedding is. It means they turn off our power for 2 hours at a time. So I guess I saved this. Good thing I actually did save it, because now we can just use this. So geometries and clothes and shoes. Okay. It already has I want the game engine rig. Looks good. Okay, so let's try and export this again. So files, and this time I'm just gonna hit save again. Just make sure it's saved. Okay, export. And I'm just gonna keep it at that name, because that's what I had on my first. So let's go ahead and just select Joe and say yes. I didn't even do the rest. I'm just gonna go jump into Blender and Shift C and file, import, Day. Add it to Joe. Let's see if it. Okay, guess it worked. Oh, and that's what I wanted to show you. What Day. If I do it like this, that's why I actually just pressed Control. There's no rig. There's the rig. That's what the rig looks like. So Control I and hide. That's what your rig looks like. You don't want that. So Alt H, just make sure there's nothing there. File, import, Day, and we're gonna use Joe, fix leaf bones, fix bone chains, and auto connect. And let's make it about 5. Keybind info and import units. So there we go. So that's a root bone. If you really want to, you can edit this RX90, but now it's connected, so Alt P, your parent. Wrong one. Let's go to the armature viewport display, put it in front. Now you can see, okay, so this is parented to this. So you can always do this, Control P and keep offset, but now it's connected. So I'm gonna Alt P and clear parent. Now I can just move this around and RX90, because that's gonna be the root bone. Put it at the bottom. And then select this, Control P and keep offset. So this is gonna be the main controller bone. This is gonna be the second controller bone, if that makes any sense. And now I think if I do this, you will see there's gonna be a little weird rotation. So if I do this and put it on local, you can see the leg is going to be rotating outwards. So that's not what we want. So let's select the legs. Go into front view, tab, Control N, and view axis. So now we can rotate these. They're going to rotate upwards, just like that. I think these are good. There's a very small bone. So I'm going to take this one and I just want to move it up a little bit so I can actually work with it easier. Okay, cool. So I want IK on this rig. This rig has absolutely no IK. And also there's another problem. I'm going to have to turn this on, and if you look here, there's your hand bone. Otherwise you won't be able to see that bone. So first of all, we're going to make IK. I'm going to start with the feet and then I'm going to work my way up. And also with the feet, I think, yep, the toe is way too low. You can always hide this bone if you really want to. It's gonna be in my way anyway, so I think that's gonna be good. Okay. Decide. Because now I'm gonna tab into edit mode and I'm gonna Shift D, Alt P, clear parent, and then I'm gonna go into my tab right there, and I'm gonna go and play with the length a little bit. Just make it a little longer so we can see. Okay. So Control Tab, this bone selected, select the bone on the inside, Control Shift C, and inverse kinematic. Oh well, actually copy rotation. So this one is gonna be the rotation from now on. Not gonna rotate from the other one. So select this one, this is going to be the IK bone. You're going to select this one, Control Shift C, inverse kinematics, just like that. So now when I take this bone, before we do that, go ahead and give it a chin length of 2. Select that bone, bring it up. So now we can move this up and down, but you will see somewhere, if you just move it up, it's going to mess around bad. So let's just do the same on the other side. Control Shift C. Oh, what? Oh, should be in pose mode. Not inverse kinematics, Control Shift C, and copy rotation. And then this bone and this bone, Control Shift C, inverse kinematics, and a chain length of 2. There we go, because you got 1, 2, so that's a chain link. Save into edit mode. Now we need pole targets. Bring this out. Alt-P, clear parent. Now let's check the names of these. There's gonna be, just copy this one by L001. Like this, and the pole target would be by Control V, and the target should be the armature, and the bone is going to be that. So you're gonna get left and right. You want left, and the pole angle is probably gonna be wrong. Yep. So I think there's gonna be 90 degrees or negative 90. Okay, so it's 90. So we can bring this one up as well. Now again, pole angle. The pole target is gonna be the armature. Not Joe, armature. Okay, so it is. What's going on there? Okay, so that's not working. Turn 90. There we go. So we got IK. So Alt G, Alt R. Let's do the hands real quickly, and the fingers. The fingers are gonna be easy. But before we do the fingers, as you can see, go to top view, 7 on your numpad. Zoom in. You can see the fingers are orientated weirdly. So just circle select that and leave the thumb alone, and Control N and view axis. There we go. So now you're gonna have the same on this side. Cool. So before I get started, I'm gonna make the pole angle for this right away. Also this as well. This has to be view axis and tab and make the pole angle and Alt P, clear parent, bring it out, Shift D, Alt P, clear parent, length, Control tab. That one selected still. Shift C, Control, Inverse Kinematics. Chain length of 2. So when I go ahead, I can just boom. If you want, you can give it a chain length of 3, then it's gonna move the shoulder around as well. But that just looks weird. You can do that, but I don't want to do that. Okay. But let's do the other side as well. Well, actually, before we do that, let's do the pole angle real quickly. So that would be Joe. And this bone is called upper arm. Control C. I know you're supposed to rename this, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm in a bit of a hurry. So with the bone constraints tab, I'm just going to Control V, and we want the 001 left. Now you can see it rotates all the way, so this is gonna be negative 90 if I'm not mistaken. Sometimes you have to eyeball this. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes. Okay, it looks like it's going, so that's selected, that's selected. Copy rotation. So now we can actually rotate this on the Z, and now we have IK for this side. Cool. So Alt G, Alt R. And now we're gonna do IK for this side. So select this bone, Control Shift C. In this kinematic, select this bone, Control Shift C, copy rotation. There we go. So now we got a rotation on this bone, so we can rotate it properly. So this one is gonna give a pull target of this, and it's gonna be Control V, and it's gonna be right. Now obviously it's not gonna work properly because we have to change the angle, so we're gonna have to take this, and before we do that, chain length of 2. Come on, chain length of 2, and just move it out and see where we're gonna have to move this to. And again, take this one just to make sure it's aiming properly. It's not aiming properly, so bring it down. There we go. And boom. Alt G, Alt R, and we got a nice rig. So I can take this part and I can move it up and down. Boom. If you want the hands to follow, I think I explained this before. So tab into edit mode, select one of them, select this, Control P, and keep offset. So now I can just make the arms follow along. And also take this and just also Control P and keep offset. And now the full angles will also follow along. Okay. Now for the legs, you don't want to be doing that, because when you do that, it's going to F around bad. So let's keep going. Now I'm not gonna make shapes for this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take the useless pieces and just hide them. And I can see this little rotation going on here, but so you can move these. If you press M, you can move this to set layer 2. Along with this, move this layer 2. So there's gonna be, not gonna need that, move that to layer 2. Same with this side. Now I just have that, and then for the feet as well, move that to layer 2. I don't want to do that with the toe, so I can still rotate this, and I can still rotate the toe. Cool. So now we've got this going on, so there's gonna be the main control. We can still rotate these, we can still rotate this, but obviously the rest is not gonna follow along, but that's alright. Now I want something for the head, so I can actually move this around and the neck will follow. So select the head, select the neck, Control Shift C, copy rotation. Now you can see it's copying the rotation, but I don't want it to copy the whole rotation. I only want it to copy the Z rotation. But you can see it's going weird. So first local space, and then local space again. So when I rotate this, you will see the neck rotating with it. Obviously you're not gonna do a full rotation, so that's good. And also you can turn this on if you really want to, but the influence I want to bring down. So when I take this and I rotate it, RZ, you can see it's doing something with the neck as well. But turn this off. Look at the difference. When I turn this on, you can see it actually snaps. So now it's got a little bit more realism. Okay, so I don't have any bones for the eyes just yet, but we can do that a little bit later, because we still need to do the fingers. So the fingers, to do the rotation, we're gonna select this one, Control Shift C, copy rotation. And select this one, Control Shift C, copy rotation. For all of them, you always want to use local space and local space. So this one, local space and local space. And then you can rotate this and those fingers will follow along. Now it will curl up, in and out. So I'm gonna do that with the rest of the fingers, then I'll be back. Oh, and also remember your thumb, you're only gonna do the first one. Control Shift C and copy rotation. And then local space and local space. I did it the wrong way around, so move that. This one first, this one second, Control Shift C, copy rotation and local space. So when I rotate this, you will see the thumb curling in. But you still have a bit more control on how the thumb moves. Okay, so I'm gonna do this real quickly on both sides and then I'll be back when I am done. So let me just give it a quick pause and see you in a sec. Alright, so I'm back and I'm done with the fingers. Now I want to show you something. If you select this finger and you will see it says replace right there. Now, if I try to rotate this now, nothing's gonna happen. And maybe I want a bit more control over this finger, so I can go and put it after original. Now I can rotate it, but now you will see it's rotating. So you can see it's rotating the whole finger. But now, looking at that, you can see, I can just rotate it. It's gonna rotate the whole finger in and out. So let's say you want this as a trigger finger. You can also put this as after original. So you can also still rotate this and it will rotate inwards, but you can still rotate this like you want. So I'm only gonna do the one so you can actually do that, but rotating the whole finger, rotating this finger, you'll see. There we go. So I did that with this one as well. And this one can go after original. This one after original. So now I have more control over my fingers. Now this one, I think it would be best to do it after original because I still want to be able to move this around instead of just doing that. And the roll of this thing really isn't what I want. So if I want to do the roll, individual, you can go right to the radius. Apparent, there would be a roll. You can roll it. Just like that. So now it will rotate a bit better. You can even move the roll in a little bit more. So but then you will see that finger over there is going to mess around. So these, I would say, go into your side view. It's built on your keyboard. Okay, that would be the front view. Control in and view axis. So now I can roll these. And you can also move this up and down, and we're going to be limiting, I think it's a Z. So it won't go on the Z axis when you try to rotate it. But it's also going to go on the X. So I don't want it to rotate on the X. So I can only rotate this on one axis. Watch. So that's only with the parent. So again, make sure that it's after original, Alt R, Alt G. So I'm gonna do that on both sides, and then I'll be back to continue with this rigging process. And then on the next video, we're going to be making the first person controller and adding in our logic. So let me just pause quickly. Right, so I'm back. So now for the last one, we're gonna be doing something for the head. So tab into edit mode, Shift D, and just bring it out. And I want the head to follow. So Alt P, clear parent. And this one I'm gonna rename as, we don't need the 001. I'm just gonna make it track. Head track. So select this, then select this, and then Control Shift C and damn track. Now it's gonna do something like this, and this is not what you want. So you're gonna take this head bone, and go into the constraints tab and make it Z. Don't do it negative Z, otherwise it's gonna do that. Negative Y is gonna do that. X is gonna do that. X is gonna do that. That. I'm gonna make it Z. So what happens when I try to rotate this now? Control tab. When I try to rotate, I can still rotate it. RX. But now it will look around. So from now on, we're gonna be using this to make the character look around. Cool. So there's the rig we're gonna be using for the game. There's gonna be a full body. So in other words, when you look down, you want to be able to see something like that. When you look up and down, you should be able to see your body. Okay, so I'm gonna save this, Control S, and I'm gonna call this game CH. I can make it import, but just game character edit. Okay, save Blender file. So now I've got a lot of Blender files for this character. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something from this. In the next video, we're going to parent this to a game character controller, and we're gonna make him move without scaling. We're gonna make him crouch without the whole bloody thing scaling out of proportion. So I'll show you how to do that. Let me just close this down quickly, and then see you in the next video, guys.